Pour the brothers bond.
Being around you drives me nuts.
Is the pug snoring?
Not being around you drives me nuts.
Grab your wine glass and sit with your sweetie. Time to listen to Ash and the titular PD. Drunk like I got a traveler in me. Need to feed on blood like I'm addicted to type B. It's not a typo, I'm type A on the flow. Ties a hype beast, put a chain on the dough. Roll up the vervain, roll Spain in the cup. Turn my humanity off, not giving up. Heck. Other side sucking people up like twisters. Bonnie's the anchor. Jeremy's gonna miss her. The bro swap places Rick's back in the mix. What's gonna happen on Vampire Diaries season 6?
How is the summer almost over? And yet, I feel like I got nothing done.
You were waiting for me.
Hello, welcome to the Vampire Diaries. Hey, the Vampire Diaries podcast where a guy is watching the series for the first time with a super fan who has seen every episode. I'm the titular PD. Let's just say I put the PD in Vamp PD, but please call me Pete. And I'm here with my co-host and co-parent, Ash.
I don't know why that's so funny.
The mics are hot tonight.
Thank you for waiting for me. That's what I said in case you were wondering.
Oh, you should have left it like lost in translation.
Oh my gosh. I
Ash.
want someone to think I said something weird.
No, we're you might. I'll put that like over the beat still. Maybe I don't know. It's kind of like is it Nora Jones? Can you count me in?
Oh yeah.
Been away for a while now.
Yeah. Wait. I don't think that is Nora Jones.
Colby
though.
Calais.
Colby Calais. Yeah.
Nora Jones, Kobe Calais. Same diff. Just kidding.
Do people say same diff or only me and you?
I don't know, honestly.
Because we say that like a lot.
I'm out of touch with reality, if anyone can tell from this podcast.
We both are. But that is a phrase that we say and have said for years and years. Same diff, same different. I mean, like when I was in high school, middle school, I guess. It's like, I don't know, same difference.
Yeah, I think that was like a snarky, I think same difference was a snarky 90s-ism.
Mm-hmm.
Same
Being
difference.
like whatever.
Yeah. Like, doesn't matter to me. Very Gen X.
But now we just say same diff.
Same diff.
I never really thought about it until it was on record.
A new segment, Ash, same diff. I literally have a same diff right now.
Okay.
It was already part of my business up top.
Really?
Yeah. Are Stefan and Damon just dark-haired Nate and Jeremiah?
Oh.
Same diff.
Okay.
Think about it. Think about Nate
Yeah.
and Nate to Stefan and
Coloring
Jeremiah.
and proportions, for sure.
Yeah, and kind of like face shape.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously, they're a married couple and one is brothers.
For sure.
So that's different.
That's
the
diff,
different
diff.
part. Yeah. That's the different part of the same diff.
More business up top, Ash.
Mm-hmm.
We had a comment
Oh.
on Season 6, Episode 15, Let Her Go, from Victoria.
Hello.
Candace, the actress that plays Caroline, actually was a backup singer for Hannah Miley Cyrus' Best of Both Worlds tour before she was on TVD.
Oh, wow.
Her and Kat, Bonnie,
Uh-huh.
both sing.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that. That's cool.
That's an A+ level comment.
Thank you for that.
That was on the Spotify.
Oh, good. They're probably listening to the music and then this podcast.
And that was a recent episode, and it's a public comment, so I felt okay saying Victoria. Shout out to Victoria.
I love that. I love the fan interaction. I would love more of that. That's awesome.
Yep, I look at the Spotifys, they send me the Spotifys, and then I put hearts on them or wows or whatever.
You can wow it?
Something, maybe.
That's cool.
I know I can heart it. There's a couple other emojis.
That's awesome.
Ash, something else came across my desk.
Mm-hmm.
I know we've had real ads in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Real sponsors.
Of course.
But check this out. I'm bringing this to you now, live. No pitching, no scripts, no contracts, just dynamic, relevant ads that deliver a seamless listening experience for your audience. I got an email from our podcast provider saying...
Is this part real or not real?
It is.
Okay.
You can earn money from your podcast even if you're not raking in millions of downloads yet. After you submit your ad settings, you'll receive a confirmation email, and your episodes will be automatically set up with 2 pre-roll and 2 post-roll ad slots. Which to me, pre-roll means something else.
Yeah, I know,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Right.
Get two pre-rolls? That sounds like a good podcast.
That's a good deal.
That's
Yeah.
a good podcast to me. Which you can customize anytime. Your episodes will be converted to MP3, blah, blah, blah. I say we do it.
That sounds like we should do it. And we should listen to the ads and make sure it's not like, buy some guns, everyone, or something weird. But
I'm gonna click the checkbox for no evil ads.
Okay,
But
good.
we'll see.
Yeah, we should totally do it. Why not?
So if you're listening to this, there might be an ad. No, I'm not gonna do it on this one. I gotta look into it a little more. But
Okay.
in the future
Stay
episodes,
posted.
actually, it might retroactively do it. I don't know. It says your episodes will be automatically set up. We'll see.
That'll be interesting.
And look, if some lame ads come on, just tell me and I'll quit it or I'll change
Yeah,
it.
we don't want to promote something weird
Yeah, like,
or like negative.
yeah. So let me know if some dumb ads, like a podcast I listened to had some kind of AI thing. And I was
Yeah.
like, what? That's antithetical to your whole thing. Because
Yeah.
they probably didn't even
No,
listen
it was
to
there.
it.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, does it change per listener? Like, is it set like this episode gets these specific ads, or is it like depending
True.
on when you listen to it, you might hear different ads?
Yeah, that's true.
It might be like fluid.
Well, it'll be fine. I'm gonna check the non-evil corporation box. So, I mean, we got a little bit burnt with vernacular earlier, but hopefully it won't be as bad as that.
Yeah.
Ash. Mm-hmm. Any vamp? Oh, we do
Yeah,
have.
I was waiting for you to ask me. We have
huge
vamp
news.
except that we haven't yet finished, but we started watching the first Twilight,
Yes.
which I have seen all of them at least once. I don't remember them very well, though.
I've seen maybe the part of the first one.
You just
that
remember the
we've
baseball scene.
I think I've seen the same part of the first one twice.
Probably like walked into a room and saw it and left.
I might have seen a clip of the baseball. Mm-hmm. Did we get to the baseball this time?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's funny.
it's silly. But we have not yet finished it. We have like a half an hour left.
Yeah.
Which that seems silly to probably most of you, but that's how we roll around here.
We only have so much media time per day.
Right.
But,
yeah, I think that we actually have watched it twice already. We watched it when we finish it, it'll be our third sitting.
yeah.
But the first time we watched it, I think you were enjoying it a little bit more, and you were like, this is an easy watch, and this is kind of fun, and whatever.
Yeah.
And then the second, like the middle part of the movie watch, you were like, this is so stupid, and it's so dumb. And you didn't like it at all.
Maybe it'll finish.
So I
strong.
wonder how you're going to feel about the third part. To me, the whole thing is, it's dated, first of all. Like, it's like when you had me watch, what's that one? With Neo and whatever the heck.
The Matrix?
Yeah, when I watched The Matrix, I was like, this is so boring and old.
Oh my
Because
god.
I watched it way late.
The Matrix is only becoming more and more prescient every day.
Well, I'm just saying, but the way that it looks, the way it's filmed and stuff, like, in its heyday, it was, like, really amazing. But then to, like, watch it now, you're like, this looks old and bad. So I feel like that's part of what's happening with Twilight, is it's just old and bad in that way. And it's, like, a little too dramatic.
I would never compare Matrix and Twilight.
Well, it was done.
Okay. Yeah, it is old. Yeah, one of those is old and bad. But I'm having a good time watching it. And I think they only get worse, right? So, or like more special in a way or
They
whatever.
just get more, like, ridiculous.
Weirdo?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I've seen the baby from the one in the future, and it looks scary. Yeah, so
I
there's
didn't
there's
even
good
know that you knew there was a baby, so.
there's good stuff in it. I'm culturally aware of many things of the Twilights,
Well, yeah. That's true.
but Ash,
But Ash.
I'm
But Ash.
I'm slightly culturally aware of tonight's episode.
Okay, let's do it.
Season 6, episode 17, A Bird in a Gilded Cage. Cold open Burr.
Yeah, I know. Usually when you say the title after we watch it, I'm like, yeah, this is what it tells about, but it's not jumping to mind right now.
The mom is in a gilded cage.
Okay.
I would
The
say
mom.
Gilded Age, Gilded Cage.
Oh, yeah, Gilded Age. Yes, that's it.
Gilded Age, Gilded Cage.
It wasn't connecting for me in the moment, but yeah, that's very obviously it.
Caroline is doing the Marg dishes
Yes.
with her ex-Tina hair. Did you say Britney hair? I would say ex-Tina.
I think it's just 90s, but yeah, Britney, Xtina, both of them.
Enzo comes in and Caroline is still cleaning.
Early 2000s, actually.
She says she and Stefan had a moment. And I was like, does that mean... Does that mean...
Because we saw one moment, but then was there a different moment that we didn't see?
Does she need a mop to clean up because they were spilling margaritas? Or for a different reason?
Ew.
I don't know. It just seemed like very...
She was being like wink wink about it.
Okay. I don't think they
What?
had a moment, though. For real. Because they kiss later. And it's like it's new, right?
They just are in the moment later, for sure.
Okay. Enzo says, didn't you flip your humanity switch so you don't care? But she very much cares about cleaning up and doing all this stuff.
Yeah, her humanity switch is very specific. It's like she doesn't care about like the sad stuff, but she's still trying to like control her switch to the point where she can still keep doing it and nothing ruins it.
Right.
She's
and
trying
she's
to like
still
managing it.
She still has her type A personality.
Right. And unlike Stefan, who's just like, I don't care about anything at all whatsoever, no matter what, anyone, anything, anywhere.
There must be some... Oh, my voice just like cracked.
There must be some.
I'm going through puberty finally. There must be something in the writer's room where they have some sort of equation of what actually the humanity is. Like, is it just this emotion, but you still have this part of your personality or whatever? Yeah,
you can still make decisions, but it's like whether or not you care. Yeah, so her humanity switch is very different from Stefan, and that's kind of like the basis of a lot of this episode.
She pronounces it skull bar.
Yeah, which still is school or skull.
Skull bar.
Skull bar.
Caroline is very practical. She wants to go to the skull.
Practical
at school. She has an audition for the musical. She's a drama major. Is she a drama major, or does she just cause major drama?
I thought you were just going to say she's a drama queen, but I liked what you said better instead.
Thank you for waiting for me. Caroline stole...
That just shows how sweet I am.
And how sweet I am for waiting.
True.
Caroline stole Enzo's phone to get Sarah Salvatore's phone number. And Sarah Salvatore, last we saw her, was getting sliced open.
An appendectomy.
And hopefully she didn't get an infection from Liam's amateur surgery.
Yeah.
You
what?
Stefan's
not allowed to yawn?
Stefan's humanity. I think Stefan calls his humanity Stephanie. Yeah.
Okay.
Stephanie is off.
She's cut off.
Caroline needs to prepare for her audition, and Ash said, why is she going to have an audition during spring break? Which they explain later.
Yeah, which they have to because it makes absolutely no sense.
They don't actually explain it. They just say, oh my gosh, I have an audition during spring break.
No, she was like, you know how hard it is to get an audition during spring break? Yeah, because it doesn't happen.
And probably not hard at all. You just compel them.
Right, well, yeah.
And
for
then you
Caroline.
Slice their head off. Stefan comes home to Bro's mansion. Damon is waiting. And Stefan has his humanity Stephanie off. And he's like, where do we keep our weapons? Jeremy was into weapons.
Mm-hmm. I like Stephanie more and more that you say it.
Damon runs over to vervain him, I guess, with the syringe.
Mm-hmm.
And
because he knows that he had heard already that Stephanie is gone.
Yeah.
And but Stefan's coming in trying to be like normal, so Damon doesn't bother him.
Stefan breaks Damon's arm.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, Elena told you," or something like that.
Damon has to break his arm back into place. And, I threw a little shade. I said Stefan rides off on an unseen motorcycle. It was just like... Brr, 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 brr.
Yeah.
But they do show a motorcycle a bunch later.
Uh-huh.
So it's not like... It wasn't just a cheat. Like,
yeah.
we know he has a motorcycle. And so they just cheated, like, well, let's not shoot the motorcycle. But then they do shoot it later.
Yeah.
So, sorry. I apologize. I was being a real jerk. Dr. Joe is talking to Sarah Salvatore at the hospital. The story is she had too much to drink and passed out in the quad.
Of course.
She lost a lot of fluids.
She's like, I kind of remember that, or something weird. I'm like, okay, liar.
I mean, she did lose a lot of fluids, blood. Alaric is there to do some exposition. They're at the hospital during spring break, and it's a little walk and talk. Alaric and Joe is going to be their supernatural holding cell. They explain their plan. They're keeping Sarah safe from everybody. They want to elope, though, and they smooch. Soon, Sarah will be safe back at Duke. Joe thinks of Duke as a name for their baby.
It's a terrible name, I feel like, for a little tiny baby. Like, that's the first name you think of is Duke.
What about Josette Jr.? That was Alaric's pitch.
Right. I feel like Duke is a good name for, like, a bulldog.
Yeah, hey.
Is that their mascot or no?
Duke Blue Devils.
Devils.
Duke is a good name for a blue devil, though.
It's like, I'm going to have a new baby. First name that comes to mind, Duke? Really?
Any newborn babies named Duke that are listening, we're sorry.
We're sorry.
We apologize.
Also, why are you
Little
listening
tiny
to
babies
this?
named Duke.
Also, it would probably be really cute because little babies are cute no matter what.
Little Dookie.
Yeah. Dookie did a Dookie.
Ew. All right, Damon is pulling a Fred Durst and breaking stuff.
Yeah.
He tells Elena that he's scared Stefan will be a Rippa. The Rippa Diaries. Stefan, I think that's actually another podcast.
Oh, really?
Maybe. Hey, Ripper Diaries or Rippa Diaries, shout out. Stefan was Caroline's emotional trigger. They thought that he could possibly bring her back.
Right, and now his humanity's turned off too, so now they're like, now what are we going to do?
Damon is breaking stuff like Fred Durst, like I said, and he wants to break the view cam, but does not. He,
That's the camera that they had in the prison world, in case you don't know.
he shows Elena a picture of his mom on the screen. And she's like, your mom's alive. And then we know she's in a prison world of 1903. She wasn't actually buried in 1858.
No.
She's
Lies.
She's a ripper.
I know. I like how Elena's like, your mom's alive. And she says it like 800 times. But, like, that's so true for Elena because, she would do anything to have her mom be alive,
Yeah.
And she's like, just focus on that. But Damon is having a hard time.
All right. Here's a Pete-diction.
Okay.
They've had werewolves, vampires, hybrids,
Witches.
We've seen moms, dads, people come back to life.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a monkey's paw episode where Elena wishes for her parents to come back to life, and they're swamp things. Wouldn't that be scary? And then she's like, no, I wish they were dead.
Yeah, that would make sense because they drowned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
A monkey's paw episode where her parents are swamp things?
Yeah, yucky.
Oh, should that be my spec? You know how you you write a spec for TV shows to get staffed on a TV show?
Yeah.
I could write the friggin' monkey's paw swamp thing.
That would be good.
Vampire Diaries.
Yeah, that you definitely should write that.
Show's been off the air for 10 or 15 years. And I have no connections currently to send the script to, but
Still, you should write it.
it would still be a great waste of time.
It would be so fun.
All right, if I remember that, I'll put it in my idea book. Actually, I'm going to text myself.
You could always do a short story of it for an anthology in the future.
I can't use IP in my anthologies.
No, but you don't think that you could just, like, veil it as different characters?
That's already kind of what the monkey's paw is about. Hold on. Let me text myself.
Text yourself.
Lena's parents are swamp thing monkey paw. Swamping.
Your phone doesn't want to know swamp thing.
Swamp thing monkey paw.
I think I got a mosquito bite.
To do a short story in my anthology, yeah. Then it would just be Monkey's Paw. In Monkey's Paw, the kid gets killed in the war or whatever, and the parents are like, we just wish we had our son back. And then the son comes back, but he's a dead zombie. So that's already what the story is.
Yeah.
But to put a new skin on it,
Right.
in the Vampire Diaries universe,
I know.
Come on,
That'd be
Ash.
good. I know. But, like, it could be Belinda and...
Belinda from White Lotus?
and no,
That could be season 4?
I'm just saying, like, instead of Elena, it'd be like Belinda's parents, and then I don't know.
Belinda and then
Belinda Dilbert. No one would know.
I mean, I'm definitely going to use the name Belinda Dilbert in something. Any newborn babies named Belinda Dilbert? Shout out. Tell your brother Duke we hate him, but we love you.
Duke Dilbert?
Duke and Belinda Dilbert.
That's terrible. Okay.
I don't know where we're at.
I don't know.
She is a ripper. Stefan's a mama's boy, but both of these sons love their mom. Mm-hmm. They make it a point to say. And this is how they can get Stefan back. The mom can be the emotional trigger or whatever I said earlier.
Yep. Which that makes sense, right? Your mom would get you to turn your humanity back on if you thought she was dead and she was alive.
For sure.
That'd probably work. She's
a ripper, though, and you can't solve one ripper with another, which they haven't been to some of the places I've been. Damon might know some witches who can help, but then Bonnie says, I'm not helping you.
Mm-hmm. She's mad at him.
She's mad at him and Kai. Mm-hmm. She's, Damon wants her to work with Kai. We need Bennett Blood, and we need him, Kai, to get to 1903.
With the 1903 Ascendant.
Yep. And Bonnie's like, can I just give you my blood and not be a part of it? That's funny. Mm-hmm. Kai and Bonnie go out to eat. He jokes about having an ascendant. This is confusing, and it's going to be hard to get, but then he actually has the ascendant.
Yeah, he's like, what do you think I have in my pocket? Oh, I'd have to do this, this, and this, and this. Oh, wait, it's here in my pocket.
And he's the leader of the Gemini Coven, so he can do what he wants when he wants. He doesn't need a celestial event. Mm-hmm. Also...
Even though there's a celestial event in 1903, 24/7, on that side at least.
Right. Also, how does his dad feel? His dad booked it out of town. How does his dad feel that his son is big-timing him?
Yeah, that would be something that they should have included. Because he was so afraid of Kai and that he was going to kill everyone and blah, blah, blah. And now Kai's, like, healed in a way. Mm-hmm. And he could be like, Dad, I'm sorry.
Right. And then all those, like, that circle of unnamed coven people.
Yeah.
How do they feel?
Yeah.
They're just wherever they're at.
Well, they're probably all sad that Luke is dead.
For sure.
And Liv is MIA.
LIV is MIA.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl LIV. Kai will go to 1903 if Bonnie goes as well. But she would rather die of cholera than hang out with him. And Kai brings up Caroline, and then we go to Caroline singing her audition.
Mm-hmm.
And, I said, was she always too nervous to audition, but now her humanity is off so she can go for it? Or is it like something inhibitors or whatever it's called?
MAOI.
I know. What is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah. Is she like, and now I can do it?
That's actually very perceptive of you. I think you're right. And I like in her performance where she gets like all emotional. And then when she's like done, she's like kind of like, ugh, like kind of annoyed that she was crying and like emoting. She's like, oh, I'm over this. And then she does tell Stefan, she's like, it's called acting.
Yeah. They did a lot of overlapping editing in this episode, Ash, where it would be like they were in one location, then you could hear the audio from the next scene starting to bleed in.
Okay. Thanks for telling us.
Caroline is auditioning. One guy is sitting there listening. Caroline cries as she sings. Then that one guy is the director, but his head falls off.
Yeah, that's a fun, spooky surprise. And I like that Stefan's just sitting behind him, so that it looks like Stefan is on this guy's body for a second.
Yep, he killed him. He makes fun of her for still being so type A,
Right.
even though her humanity is off. Stefan's point is, like, why is she going to keep doing regular stuff when her humanity is off?
Right.
And he wants to mess up her life so bad that when she turns her humanity back on in a year, it'll be bad. Like, his life will be bad, I guess.
Yeah, I know. This doesn't make sense to me, though. Like,
Why is his life going to be bad?
Because he's going to do bad stuff while his humanity is off.
He doesn't have to.
Right. But this is where the logic to me doesn't make sense, because he's aware in this moment when he says this that when his humanity comes back on, he's going to feel horrible about all the things he's done.
Yeah.
And if you have that thought in this moment, then you would be like, oh, well, then I'm not going to do bad stuff.
But he doesn't care.
But he cares enough to know that later he will care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it, like, Caroline can think about herself in the future. And Stefan can too, but I don't know. It doesn't align for me. And I know Caroline and Stefan are different people, so they, react differently. And Elena did too, but I don't think it makes sense for Stefan to be like, when my humanity comes back on, I'm going to feel like shit, and my life's going to be terrible. It's like, well, you shouldn't be even thinking about that right now because you don't care.
Just ride out the year and don't do anything bad.
Right. Or just ride out the year and do stuff that's bad and not care because you don't care what your repercussions are.
Right. But he will care.
Right, but right now he shouldn't care.
I said it's weird that it's going to be a year exactly. Like, that kind of defeats
that's just what Caroline said. I want a year.
That defeats the point.
Yeah.
Of wiling out. If you're going to wile out, fully wild, I always say. She rubs blood on her lips. And, he does,
he
yeah.
does.
And, let go one at a time until you break. He says, whatever. I said, so Enzo and Stefan are both trying to ruin gals right now.
Yeah.
Like, Enzo's going to make Sarah wish she was never knew what a vampire, whatever he said. And Stefan's like, and I'm going to make you
regret your life.
Like, okay, guys, like, chill out. Same diff.
Leave these girls alone.
Bonnie cuts her palm for Kai.
Yeah, with a huge knife. Did you write down what he said?
No.
Oh, he made some joke. I don't remember exactly about, like, her knife being so huge.
I was barely hanging on this episode, keeping up.
Yeah, he was like,
With all that
right,
exposition.
chill out, so-and-so. This episode, I know ratings are later, but it does not get a high rating for me. And I think they did way too much in one episode. And nothing was, like, fully done.
Damon is aboard. Elena is coming to meet the woman who birthed the two epic loves of her life.
I know, and Elena this whole time is like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to meet your mom.
I know. Elena has been minimized the past couple eps.
Yeah, true.
She just pops in, I'm like, who is she? Kai is nervous about transporting everyone. He speaks some Latin.
Right, but yeah, because they didn't expect Elena to go. And she's like, no, I'm coming.
They go into a Narnia-looking world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm very nasal this episode. Narnia. We go into a Narnia-looking world.
Well, now you are.
They now need to find the mirror ascendant. They split up. Bonnie and Kai are going to find the ascendant. Elena and Damon are going to find the mom.
Mm-hmm. Which I think it's funny that they went all the way here to the spirit world, and then Elena doesn't even understand how it works, and she's like, "What? Why do we have to find the ascendant after they're already there?"
Right.
Like you didn't even know what risks you were taking.
And she's never been there before. Has she never been on this sojourn?
No, I mean she went like briefly for a second.
Was she
with the other ascendant, but they didn't have to go find a whole nother one.
Was she invisible in '94 or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Now we see Stefan's motorcycle, I said.
Yeah.
It falls apart. Caroline broke it.
I love how it falls apart.
Caroline says it was hard to get an audition during spring break.
Yeah, thank you, Caroline. The motorcycle falling apart is probably my favorite part of this episode. Because you just look at it and it looks like it's totally put together and then it just falls all the way apart. That's so funny.
That was crazy. Caroline and Stefan are now in a prank war.
Right, and he's like trying to get her to be bad and that she's not even good at breaking his motorcycle.
No, he's just going to tighten it back up.
But then she punctures the gas tank.
Alaric is making a list of baby names. Joe calls anyone...
Oh, Belinda,
Duke, Dilbert.
Dilbert, yeah.
Joe calls anyone and says anyone named Alaric should not be able to name anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Shots fired at the writers. Mm-hmm. Or maybe, I wonder if he's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
He vetoes Duke.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo walks in. He wants Vervain to get Caroline. And he tells Alaric that he's no fun now that his girl's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And Alaric's like, I'm going to be a father. I don't want to mess with vampires that much.
Yeah. He's trying to be serious daddy.
He has weapons in his apartment, but I guess he's at Joe's house. And I said he's keeping an apartment away from his baby mama still. Suspect.
Yeah, they need to figure that out.
They're paying 2 rents in Mystic Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Elena and Damon are in the Bros mansion in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They see baby photos.
No, they're not in the Bros mansion. Is it the Bros in 1903?
Yeah, where are they at? Bros mansion?
I don't actually know. No, because it has some weird dungeon in the bottom.
Vervain dungeon?
No, I think it's a completely different place.
Oh.
But also, I could be super wrong.
I just assumed they were back at their own house.
Okay, I'm going to try to look it up while you talk.
It doesn't actually matter where they're at, to be honest. They see baby photos. Damon does exposition about his mom. She's dead to him, and she's just a tool to get his brothers back. But here's mom. She's there. She looks irked, I said. She makes tea, and she tells her story. She died in the TB ward, tuberculosis.
Mm-hmm.
She never stopped by the Bros to clear things up. Halloween 1903 arrived in a New York excuse me. Arrived in New York Harbor. A coven of witches attacked her. She woke up and everyone was gone. And now she's in the prison world. She's seen the same Aurora Borealis.
Yeah. Okay, my phone is telling me that it is the Salvatore Mansion. But it's different in 1903.
So she's a vampire. And it's not like there's a lot of people walking around.
No.
Where she can get blood.
Or even animals. She says she ate all the animals.
Yep, she walked really far to eat some pigs or something.
She should really have left enough animals so they could make more animals.
Right.
That's not good planning.
She drinks 2 drops of blood a week.
Yeah, that's not
Stay
enough.
awake. And I heard you and your brother turned to vamps. Dad was horrified about that, and then Stefan ripped his throat out.
And she laughs.
She laughs. Good for Stefan. She hated the dad. Caroline is studying. There are coins dropping. I think I saw in the audio subtitle. Coins dropping. Stefan is at the vending machine.
Mm-hmm.
He explodes her with a bomb.
Yeah, he does.
He goes to stake her. All right, Ash. I have a Pete-spiracy theory.
Oh, okay, that's new.
He's using reverse psychology, Ash. I still believe that his humanity is not turned off.
Okay, I was wondering if you were thinking that.
I think he's going super big.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want her to let go. He wants her to wake up. I think he's
like
baking.
Yeah, he's going so big that
He's
she'll
going
be like,
so
never
hard.
mind.
Yeah, to wake her up and he'll stab that soccer player or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Pete-spiracy.
Okay. I like it.
Kai and Bonnie are in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I wrote she has nice palms, but that must be in the episode because I don't know that or think that. She has nice palms?
I think Kai probably says that. He's trying to be nice to her and stuff.
She has nice palms. They are Latin. I don't know what that means. Maybe they say some Latin? I don't know. Do you know why I'm here? His guilt keeps him up at night. Give him one more chance. But then he grabs her, and the old him is still in there.
Yeah, he gets a little rough for a moment, a little aggressive, and it's so triggering for her.
Back at the Bros Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
Mom, Lily,
Mm-hmm.
can reconnect Stefan with his humanity. He doesn't need to know how screwed up she is.
Right.
But Ash, she has traveling companions.
Yeah, was this surprising to you?
Yes, she's not alone.
She's got some wrinkly friends.
I said they're gray, veiny weirdos.
Yep.
I did not like these guys.
Desiccated weirdos. And I think that, maybe in this scene, they only had one actor, and it was the guy on the end.
Yeah.
And everyone else was a statue dummy body or whatever.
They were a bunch of Belinda Dilberts.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly, yeah.
Because you didn't even see anyone else. They were all shadowed the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're like, let's just film this one guy.
He definitely was the standout.
Mm-hmm.
He might have gotten his SAG card off that.
Mm.
He was an extra.
That's exciting.
Maybe. I mean, he didn't have any lines. That is one of the ways.
What if you have big eye acting?
Yeah.
Does that count?
Well, I would have had mine by now. Ash. Alaric and Enzo have crossbows. They're bantering.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo wants to do his revenge, but Stefan doesn't care. Alaric says Enzo is lonely. Enzo is jealous of Stefan's... or Stefan? Oh, no, of Alaric. Enzo is jealous of Alaric. Probably of Stefan, too, but of Alaric. Because Alaric has girl, kid, death. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have
Real
those.
human life stuff. Yeah. I like that Alaric is just honest with Enzo about this, even though Alaric kind of goes along with Enzo's plan to try to get Caroline, but for different reasons. But yeah, it's just very obvious that, Enzo wants to mess with Stefan and it's not fun anymore. So that's why he wants to get him. But it's funny at the end of this episode where Enzo's just like, okay, Sarah Salvatore, I'll let you go. I don't need to ruin your life anymore. It's not fun. Mm-hmm. But then she's like, why would you call me that? I mean, I'm skipping ahead. But It is funny that, like, in a way, Enzo did really listen to what Alaric had to say.
Yeah. And then nothing he could do is as bad as what he did by accident. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
By just telling her name. Because she doesn't know her name or something.
Yeah, do you think he said it by accident or he dropped it there on purpose?
I don't know. Mm-hmm. Some girl sees Caroline dragging Stefan. And,
yeah, she was there for practice or whatever, that girl.
Yeah, why on spring break?
Right.
Caroline compels the girl to go hide in her room. I think Stefan stakes the girl.
Yeah.
Stefan stops her from talking. They are disagreeing about how to have your humanity off. They both have different ways of going about it. Mm-hmm. He hears Alaric and Enzo. He throws a bomb at them, and Enzo saves Alaric. Still going along with my going big. Mm-hmm. He might accidentally kill Alaric, but he doesn't think he's going to. Mm-hmm.
Also, where did these bombs come from?
I don't know. We never learned that. Are they Jeremy's bombs, maybe?
Well, then when you think... Oh, because Stefan did go in the bench to get stuff out of there before he rode around on his motorcycle. I was thinking Alaric had all the weapons, but, Stefan did grab stuff earlier.
Lily is in the attic with these desiccated creeps, and she plays a record.
Okay, you think it's attic, I think it's basement.
Well, okay.
Just FYI, I don't know.
Well, one of us was correct earlier, and one of us was wrong earlier.
You're good at seeing the sets better than I am.
They are her friends, these creeps. She was banished because she was a monster, but now she has confronted the animal she has become. Her friends sacrificed her rations for her, their rations for her. Mm-hmm. She learned to control her bloodlust for these friends. She has blood to revive them. And, where's Bonnie, though?
Right. And then Elena sees the Ascendant.
Yep.
And they're like, Bonnie, it's going in the wrong direction. And then
no.
Damon's like, because she's not looking for the Ascendant.
Bonnie and Kai. He could gut her and her friends wouldn't hear her scream. She believes there may be good in Kai. Then Bonnie stabs Kai. Gained his trust and stabbed him in the back. Mm-hmm. She almost killed herself. Okay, she's super mad. She almost killed herself because of him. She was drinking the whiskey, the brothers' bond.
She had herself in the garage with the car on.
Then she stabs the ground, and he's not there anymore. Mm-hmm. Stefan says Enzo and Alaric are the B team.
Yeah.
Caroline grabs a gun. Stefan walks to get the sports girl, compels her to stand still, don't scream. Stefan bites her neck. Caroline keeps resisting. She can't be tempted, she says. Stefan says, deep down, they're both the same. Now drink this blood.
And she does, and then they make out.
He's H for B and trying to get her H.
Right.
I said. And they both start sucking necks, and then they get regular H.
Right. That happens often in this. Like, if they suck blood out of the same person at the same time, it's like foreplay or something for these vamps.
They start making out against the vending machine. Northern lights are popping off, I said. We're down a witch, Damon says, so they can't Mom's friends. Mm-hmm. That was the whole point. She kept them for so long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She gets mad, tries to wake him up. Damon spills the blood.
I know the tiny bit that they have left.
And she's so mad. These people are my family, she says to her son.
Right. He's so mad.
These freaks may be your family, but Stefan is mine, and I'll leave you here to rot.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie is doing the spell. Kai yells Bonnie, but she leaves him there. Ash feels bad for Kai.
I know. Gosh. He's such a jerk, but I also do feel bad for him.
Did he have Scrubble this episode?
No, I forgot about Scrubble. Not as noticeable to me.
And how did you feel about Banny's storyline?
Wait, was that Bonnie? Was
Yeah.
Banny?
Yeah, remember Banny?
Yeah, Banny and Scrubble. We had too many silly things last time.
Hold on. I'll pull them up. We need some Scrubble merch. Teach me how to Scrubble. This is just last episode, so everyone knows this still.
Everyone but me.
Live Luke Kai.
Yeah, Live Luke Kai.
Banny. If I wrote Banny, we'd have to end the podcast. And Scrubble, Banny, and the Third Thing is an indie band.
Yeah, that's good.
Also,
Long live Banny.
Also, Chalamet is my Wonka.
No, yeah, that's a definitely don't do that.
I'm doing that.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I thought of a really good one with. You may think I'm Wilder, but Chalamet is my Wonka or something like that. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know. We'll get it together. We'll get the merch game together.
Yeah, maybe over the summer.
Yep. On break.
All right, where we at?
I don't know, Ash. Okay.
Ash feels bad for Kai. That's what you said.
Sarah is on the phone at the hospital. Enzo comes in. She has a text from him to meet up, but doesn't remember meeting up with him.
Mm-hmm.
Enzo says it was a mistake to meet her. She deserves better. She was a pawn. And calls her Sarah Salvatore, and she says, "Why'd you call me Sarah Salvatore?"
Mm-hmm.
Joe is checking out Alaric to make sure he's okay. Says he could have been killed. All right, give her 18 years, and then he can run around with guns and be an idiot? Okay, first of all, so she's fine with him getting killed by a vampire when their kid is 18 years old?
Right.
A.
Uh-huh.
And B, he'll be like in his late 60s.
Yeah.
Like, I can finally... I know people don't sound like that, but I can finally fight vampires again.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now that I'm 69.
I know. It's very weird. Give me 18 years. Just like,
I mean,
what?
he's not a young man.
No.
I get her point, though. Sometimes you say things as a shorthand.
Right. It's more just like, hey, you need to chill on that. We're having a baby.
Yeah.
We're having a family.
Lily... Oh, and we know that Joe herself is 40.
Right.
So, but...
58. When you're 58, you can run around and hunt vampires.
Lily Salvatore is on the computer in the present.
I know. David's like, the world is run by those things. And it's also an old computer.
She was an angel that visited Stefan, but she was hungry, so she fled and didn't want to bite him.
Yeah, but then, so that gives her a little bit of humanity, speaking of such.
Yep.
Like, she's like, I didn't want to kill my children, so I left.
Yes. She missed her boys.
Mm-hmm.
Damon says, good to know.
Yeah, he's kind of like, but he says it sarcastically, like, good to know.
Mm-hmm. And then Lily's like, we need to get those friends from the prison world. When are we going back? And Damon's like, soon.
Mm-hmm. But then later, he's like, never.
JK. Kai's looking for food and finds the desiccated vamps, and one of them grabs him.
I know. That's scary. I do feel bad for Kai because he was in the 1994 prison world forever,
Mm-hmm.
and now he is in a different one, and this one's way worse.
Right. No plaid. No Nirvana.
No pork rinds.
No orange juice.
No.
It's like, is there orange juice? There might have been the juice, like...
Maybe
we
a
made
literal
the juice of an orange.
Yeah.
I squeezed the juice of an orange for my lady to fight your scurvy.
Right. No scurvy.
Elena's looking at the photo of young Damon. She brought it back from the prison world. Elena wants Damon to give Mom some time. Elena has eternal optimism.
Yeah, she's being annoying, kind of.
And it's never a waste of time to look for the good in someone, but Damon is salty, but they still smooch.
Uh-huh.
Salty smooch. Stefan and Caroline are boning, I said.
Oh, you were boning. Uh-oh.
Your way is much more fun, she says. I said, brothers boning, not bonding, because they're both boning.
Yeah.
Bonnie walks in, awkward. Elena leaves to check on Alaric and everybody. Bonnie thanks Damon for helping her find closure.
Mm-hmm.
Damon says Mom wants to go back. Bonnie says we're not going back. But Bonnie has a gift for him to thank him for helping her save herself. She got him the 1994 cure from Nova Scotia.
Yes.
He was going to get it himself, but she got it when she got the magic off the island. Or peninsula or whatever it is.
Yeah, peninsula. When she followed Damon's directions to find magic. Oh, yeah, with the map he made. Then she was like, "This is what you were looking for, right?" And then he doesn't know, like, am I even gonna give it to Elena or what? And she's like, "Well, that's none of my business."
Right.
Which that's so crazy that the cure is back in the mix.
And Bonnie says she would give it to her mom, but her mom is happy as a vampire. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, so they're like, what are we going to do with the cure?
Yeah. So now, just at this point, Damon just has it.
Give it to her or not. Give it to Elena or not. And then I said credits, a.k.a. soft creds. There were soft creds on this episode.
Yeah, it wasn't the boom boom. It wasn't the...
They rolled into the soft creds.
Soft creds. So, a lot happened in the episode. How many things?
Good question. I would say 1.0903. Because I don't want to put... I wanted to do 1903, but it's not worth a 1.9.
Right.
1.0903.
Yeah, I would give it like a 1 fang and then like a baby fang.
Okay.
So like a 1.1.
Like a little Belinda fang and a little Duke fang.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like they crammed way too much in this episode.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really like get invested in any storyline. You were just like, oh, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. So that's why I didn't like love it that much.
It wasn't the best, Ash. I mean, does season 6, episode 17 need to be a 2-fanger? No. No,
it's fine. So what are some Pete-dictions? Now we have the cure. Kai's in the prison world. We got Mom. What you think? Caroline and Stefan's humanity off?
Yes. I mean, I think that the cure is going to the mom. Set her free. I mean, what else? It's not going to be Elena. It's not going to be one of our main cast, but it seems very convenient that this mom has popped up and cropped up. And she's been in this prison world for a long time.
Yeah.
What the other things besides curing her would be send her back, or she's a 1903 friggin' ripper in modern day.
Yeah.
But it might be like a so she can die kind of thing. I don't think she's going to be like a main character now.
Yeah, but she also says like that she's gotten control over her hunger because now she is living off 2 drops of blood a day or whatever.
Yeah, but what if she goes buck wild?
Yeah.
She was living off 2 drops of blood not because she wanted to.
Yeah,
she ate every pig.
And there were no humans there.
Right.
just playing the little devils on your shoulder.
Yeah, that's me being like, yeah, I definitely don't drink Slurpees every day. I don't have a Slurpee machine in my house. Mm-hmm. If I did, I'd be like...
Different story.
I'd be like, brain freeze!
Okay, and you already said that Stefan is going big. And
yes.
He's going to turn Caroline's humanity back on.
He's trying to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and the cure you said, all right, I mean, that was pretty good.
I also think there will be a Monkey's Paw Swamp Thing episode coming soon to my final draft document.
Perfect. All right, what are your plugs, Pete?
Oh my gosh. In 2-ish weeks, The Ultimatum, Queer Love.
Yeah, I know, that's
Season 2 is dropping on Netflix. I worked on that show so much for so long, and I know that it's great.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's for the viewers. Mm-hmm. For the readers, we got a couple books. We got All Roads Lead to Dockweiler. It's a summertime nonfiction about surfing, but also about life.
Yes.
We got, The Happenstances Young Adult Book Series turns 10 years old in like 2 weeks.
That's also coming up.
You should read those books to celebrate. Pretty much search for Peter L. Harmon books. I got stuff out there. The Portable Producer on Instagram. I'm trying to grow that. And then also Spotify comments.
Yeah, I was going to say, leave more comments. That's so fun for us. Thank you. And thank you for waiting for me, a.k.a. waiting for this podcast to drop because it's a little late, but maybe you won't notice.
And if you hear ads, buy those products, as long as they're not evil.
Yes. And let us know if you think they're evil.
Yeah, for sure.
We want to know.
Yep.
Alrighty. Thanks for waiting.